Douglas Cooling and Heating, serving the Birmingham area for 38 years. 988-3706. That's Douglas.
I'm James Spann. This is the afternoon edition of the Weather Xtreme video. This is for Friday the 17th of December. Interesting little setup across the Deep South tomorrow with a weak surface low in the Gulf. Will that bring any rain or snowflakes to this part of the state? Let's take a look. First off, the Skycam shots coming from Gadsden. The sky mostly cloudy there, but the clouds are pretty thin and some sun is getting through. Temperatures are generally in the 40s. Gadsden's got 43. Down in Demopolis, the sky mostly cloudy there, looking right down the Tombigbee River. And down in Greenville, Alabama, Butler County, skies overcast. Water vapor satellite shots. You can see our shortwave coming through West Texas. That will be impacting the state tomorrow as a surface low develops down in the Gulf. There's a visible satellite shot this afternoon. You can see the clouds are thick, mainly along and south of US 80. You go north, and the clouds are fairly thin, so it's kind of partially sunny or filtered sunshine for the northern half of the state. And up on the radar, the rain is limited down to the Gulf Coast. A few patches of rain down around Gulf Shores and Foley, Pensacola, Fort Walton Beach, places like that. But things are quiet up this way. And around the nation, things are pretty quiet. A few scattered winter weather issues out west in the mountains. And, of course, one of the big question marks for Sunday will be the possibility of an I-95 snowstorm over the east, and that's going to be a close call. Here's the overall precipitation for the next 5 days. Not much here. And again, that system in the Gulf is just going to be putting down the heaviest precipitation, the rain down south. And, again, it's a pretty close call for us tomorrow. And look at the rain and the snow out west. The Sierra Nevadas are going to be slammed. That's 14.7 inches of liquid precipitation. It's about 150 inches of snow out there. Goodness. All right, let's check the GFS. This is noon tomorrow. You can see the shortwave coming through. Down below that, the surface low is in the eastern Gulf, west of Tampa Bay. And the model has precipitation up to about Birmingham and Anniston. And nothing for the Tennessee Valley. And you say, it's going to be a close call. I'm telling you, let's look at the 850 millibar temperature analysis and that purple line. That can be a decent rain-snow line. This is where it's freezing about 5,000 feet off the ground, and you can see that that line is just north of where the precipitation should be. So if the GFS is right, mostly just a little scattered light rain and probably no snow here, but we all know that modeling sometimes does not handle setups like this very well. We'll check the NAM, the North American Mesoscale model, and it's a little more robust with the precipitation. It's got it running from near Chattanooga right down I-59. Birmingham and Tuscaloosa, really a little north of there. And again, you can see the freeze line at 850 is running across the Tennessee Valley. It's a close call, and this is at midday tomorrow. This is at noon. And we'll finally check the RPM, the Rapid Precision Mesoscale model, and it's not as bullish on rain. It's got the precipitation confined way down there to southeast Alabama. But whatever, we'll just kind of roll with the flow and mention a chance of a little light rain in spots tonight and tomorrow. The most widespread rain south of Interstate 20, and really the better rains down in southeast Alabama. And maybe a snowflake mixed in. Potential for issues, yeah, we'll have to watch this. You know how things can go wrong in a forecast, so we'll keep a close eye on things tomorrow. But looks like the low will be far enough south and it's relatively weak, and that hopefully we're not going to see some unexpected snow event. But look at Sunday. That whole thing is gone, and the surface low is off the Atlantic coast. And really, this run of the GFS keeps it pretty far offshore, and that would prevent a big I-95 snowstorm. But we'll let our friends over there worry about that one. That's their problem. Around here, we'll be dry on Sunday. Temperatures cool, but really not too bad. In fact, right around 50 for the high. We'll go to Monday, a nice day, sunny with highs well up in the 50s. In fact, the latest GFS is showing 58. There's Tuesday, a little impulse comes in here, chance of showers. Should be a fairly mild day, high maybe around 60. And then Wednesday, there's not really a good northerly flow. We've seen many runs that show a nice little pull down of colder air with highs dropping back in the upper 40s. Not this time. That would suggest a high close to 60 on Wednesday. And Thursday looks relatively mild. Some moisture beginning to return to the west. Week from today, you know what that is? Christmas Eve. Ooh, look at that Vortmax around Childress, Texas. Down below that looks kind of showery and mild for Christmas Eve. And again, looking at the statistics from the GFS, the MOS products, It's spitting out a high of 64. So indications next week could be relatively mild, but look at Christmas Day. That vortex begins to sharpen up the eastern trough, and we've seen a lot of that. There's the GFS Christmas morning at 6 o'clock, and hey, got a northerly flow, cold air coming in. That's a close call, isn't it? I'm not saying the odds are really any better of a white Christmas, but boy, that's what you want to see if you're going to have one. The cold air's kind of lacking, and then at midday this is 6 p.m. on the 25th, 540 line pulls down. That suggests maybe some snow flurries down and through here with a big coastal storm cranking up off to the east. And this is still voodoo. Christmas is 8 days away. 7 is our limit. Anything beyond 7, we call it voodoo. The idea is there that we turn colder Christmas Day, probably not harshly cold like we've seen, but still evidence it will turn colder. All right, we'll check the new year. How about 1211? January 2nd. Zonal flow, the cold air cut off to the north of us, and that looks pretty uneventful out there. So we'll just have to see. But again, it sure looks like we might be on the verge of a pattern change. We'll kind of keep that cold air out of here for a while. That's it for the Weather Xtreme video today. We'll have notes on the blog. The next video by 7, my next video by Monday morning at 7. Brian Peters will have the updates here tomorrow and Sunday. Thanks for watching. Have a great weekend, and God bless.